Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to GG Press, European Union member states and the European Parliament reached a broad agreement on June 1 to introduce new regulations aimed at tightening deportation procedures for illegal immigrants. The core pillar of the new rules is the authorization to establish facilities in third countries outside the EU to transfer illegal immigrants, thereby streamlining the deportation process. These offshore facilities are intended to serve not only as transit hubs before repatriation to their home countries, but also potentially as their final relocation destinations. Additionally, the new regulations will allow authorities to impose entry bans exceeding the standard maximum limit of 10 years on illegal immigrants who are deemed to pose a security threat. According to a report by Thai Sounds, Bloomberg News has revealed that at least 7 Chinese universities with close ties to the military and national defense industry are actively seeking to acquire Nvidia's powerful H200 AI chips. Among these institutions are Beihang University and Northwestern Polytechnical University, both of which are currently on the U.S. Department of Commerce's export blacklist for supporting the Chinese military. The investigation indicates that some of these blacklisted entities are attempting to bypass U.S. export controls by leasing computing power from overseas third-party providers. Because the hardware remains outside of China, this arrangement does not technically violate current export regulations. Additionally, the report shows that over 25 military-affiliated Chinese institutions have already deployed or are looking to secure older generations of Nvidia chips, such as the A100 and H100. While Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has argued that China possesses robust domestic chip-making capabilities, industry experts point out that local alternatives from Huawei and SMIC still lag behind in quality and volume. In response, an Nvidia spokesperson dismissed the idea that the Chinese military would rely on a small number of second-hand U.S. chips. Mexican Economy Secretary Marcelo Ebrard announced that Mexico's primary objective during the ongoing review of the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, is to persuade the U.S. to eliminate current tariffs. As reported by Xinhuanet, Ebrard expressed concern over the complex differentiated tariff system currently implemented by the U.S., which he believes deviates from long-standing international trading norms. The Mexican government plans to present a series of proposals in the upcoming rounds of negotiations to defend the interests of its industrial sectors, including steel, aluminum, and automotive manufacturing. While the ideal goal is a return to a free trade model, Mexico is focused on securing the lowest possible tariff levels. Following the first round of formal negotiations, both nations are scheduled to meet again in Washington, D.C. on June 16-17 to discuss agricultural issues, fair competition, and rules of origin. A third round is slated for late July in Mexico City, ahead of a final joint review by all 3 partners later this year. According to a report by Thai Sounds, the Japanese government and ruling party have initiated discussions to implement a 2-year reduction on the consumption tax for food and beverages. This measure, strongly championed by Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi to combat inflation, could take effect as early as April 2027. The proposed plan seeks to lower the current 8% tax rate to 1% or potentially eliminate it entirely to 0% if retail cash register systems can be updated ahead of schedule. An advisory body, the Social Security National Council, noted that transitioning to a 1% rate would take about 6 months for system adjustments, while a complete exemption would require a year. Alternatively, the government is considering returning the equivalent of a 1% tax through subsidies, achieving a virtual zero tax effect. While Prime Minister Takaichi aims to fulfill her campaign pledge of easing the rising cost of living for households, critics worry about the fiscal impact. The announcement of the tax cut plan previously triggered a spike in Japanese government bond yields, as investors expressed concerns that the measure could further strain the country's fragile public finances. According to People's Daily Online, China achieved a significant milestone in space exploration on June 1, 2026, with the successful maiden flight of the Long March-12B Y-1 carrier rocket. The launch took place at 4:40 p.m. Beijing time from the Dongfeng Commercial Space Innovation Pilot Zone located in northwest China. The mission successfully deployed a group of networking satellites for the Qianfan constellation into their intended orbits. Officials confirmed that the launch was a complete success, marking the 647th mission for the Long March carrier rocket series. This event highlights China's expanding capabilities in commercial space operations and satellite infrastructure development. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.